Yeah, I've got time.
Welcome back to the 20-Minute Gamer channel, everybody. I'm your host, Nick. Thank you for joining me on this one. With Season 4 having just released on the 26th, Tuesday, it's been a couple of days. I wanted to go into a little bit more of a personal dive regarding the 4 new weapons that have been added to the game. Now, we've seen them used, but how do we actually feel about their application and usage? So I'm just going to kind of break down the 4 guns, their placement as far as most favorite to least favorite, and what I can expect of myself as far as usage moving forward. So I'll be starting out with favorite to least favorite, and then I'm also going to go ahead and include that link to the weapons in the description if you just want to jump to that piece. Let's go! Alright, so coming in at number 1, I hope there's no argument here, the M51 Scattergun. Wow, what can be said about this beautiful piece of Colonial Marine weaponry? It's a double-barrel shotgun with a box magazine, fires 2 rounds consecutively with each trigger press. It's absolutely amazing. On overclock, this thing chews through Xenos. It's not overly powerful, but it also still really kind of edges out a few of the other shotties in favoritism for me, due to that double shot action. Basically, get your sights on a weak point of a target, and it's lights out. This thing does some serious, has the ability to do some serious damage, and this is kind of ranked number 1 for me in regards to all of the shotguns, especially with overclock. When I was doing my live stream, it was just chewing through hordes of runners, and on overclock, this thing just has drones and warriors as a midnight snack. So M51 Scattergun, number 1. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. All right, moving into number 2. I got to tell you, I've got a tie on this one. Judges?
Let's go home!
Yeah. Coming in tied for number 2 is the Sokol and the Misha. Now, starting with the Sokol, it's a really nice addition. As far as the sniper rifles go, I really like it. I like that I can hold the trigger down and I get that continued cyclic action. I also like that my fears were laid to rest. It's not a Bucky rifle for being a powerful, fully automatic rifle. A lot of the rifles that we have in here that are fully automatic, they definitely can be a little bit squirrely. This has that low 200 round per minute cyclic rate. When I was shooting it, it reminded me a lot of the Bushmaster chain gun off of Bradley. The fire's a little bit slower than a BAR or an M14, even though it kind of takes some cues as far as design for those 2 rifles. The damage is there also, so I'm not a huge fan of the optics, but I get it. It's a sniper rifle. It's classified as a sniper rifle. We want to have that ability to zoom and get those accurate shots on target, so I get that. If I'm playing this rifle with a gunner, I might almost not put an optic on it just to kind of keep that zoomed in distance, that field of view pulled back a little bit closer to the Marine. But I think it's a nice addition. I can see this thing being a lot more widely used in some setups than even the other DMRs or sniper rifles we have. I love the Sokol. Great rifle. Happy it's there. Coming in just behind it, or I should say right in front of it, I do think the Misha edges out the Sokol just a little bit, but I really think that there's enough disparity between the 2 of them as well to give them the honor of this 2nd place title. The Misha does not disappoint. You can amp up the reload speed, so the double shot really doesn't affect anything. The amount of time that you spend reloading, the amount of time that you can add into those reload times is pretty spectacular. A decently high damage, and in close quarters, this thing shreds. It's absolutely amazing. This gun is not going to take any time for me to level up. I have already gone ahead and included it in many of the builds that I have for my Marines that can use it, and it's going to be one of those permanent additions to my gear. Similar to the original Magnum, I still use that thing. I love that thing. I think it does an absolutely spectacular amount of damage. It's got a high magazine count on it too. The Misha does not disappoint. I hope you all like it as much as I do. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments about the Sokol and the Misha. Let's move on to number 3. All right, so coming in at number 3. All right, so there's nothing here. Listen, I really wanted to make the P649 Hell 3rd place, but after using it, I can't do it. I really feel like the Hell should maintain its 4th place position, so we're not going to give it an honorary 3rd place title. I was not wooed by the Hell. It has a nice concept behind it, and coming into Season 4 release, I really wanted to like it. It might maybe not just be the best used on the game modes, but maybe with a controlled environment like the campaigns, I can see it being a little more easily used. The action's pretty simple though. 1 high damage shot for each trigger press, and if you press and hold, you get a charged up shot. Now what's nice about this piece versus that laser pistol, which we don't talk about, you know, it's the Voldemort of Aliens Fireteam Elite. The Hell is at least magazine based and not energy based. So you really can go hog wild with this bad boy, and you don't have to concern yourself with heat overload or heat charge. Solid addition to the complement of weapons. It is a nice piece. It's definitely not the worst addition that's come out of all the guns they've brought forward. So that's my list, 1 through 4. Number 1, we've got the Scattergun. Tied for 2nd, I've got the Sokol and the Misha. And then coming in a very distant 4th place, I've got that Hell. Every weapon that comes out definitely has its place, and I think the Scattergun adds a lot to the shotgun users. I think the Sokol and the Misha add a lot to the rifle and the sidearm users. I just don't get a huge feeling for the Hell for the heavy weapon users. So I don't think this patch is meant for the heavy weapon users. I think last patch we got that pulse, the heavy pulse rifle. I think that's where we got our love. And I'm alright with that. I still love the heavy pulse. I still love the M56 myself, though. So, alright, so that's all we have on today's episode of Fireteam Elite content. Just a quick little breakdown of the 4 weapons that they included. Now, we are still doing a giveaway for the pathogen update that is that's coming out here on the 30th of August, so stay tuned for that. I'll have that video probably coming out by the 15th of August. That way we can have it issued out to the winner or winners long before the actual edition comes out. I do also have another video releasing in about a week and a half to 2 weeks. That's sort of a deep dive into year 1 of Aliens Fireteam Elite. What did we get? Where are we? And how's the game doing? So I will catch you on the next one. Stay frosty out there. Nick out.